Sketch is a 3D modeling system with a novel gesture-based interface for rapidly constructing and manipulating polygonal models of 3D scenes. Sketch tries to combine the simplicity of pencil sketches with the power of computer-based 3D models. With pencil and paper, it's easy to create images of 3D objects, but they're inherently static. In contrast, it's comparatively difficult to create models on computers, but once created, they're easily manipulated and viewed. Sketch attempts to make computer-based modeling faster and easier by basing all input on drawing and direct manipulation of 3D objects, and also by exploiting user intuition when appropriate. Sketch is intended to be used for prototyping, storyboarding, and communicating conceptual designs of 3D scenes. Sketch requires only a 3-button pointer for virtually all input. The entire interaction dialog occurs directly in the 3D window without menus, buttons, or toolbars. This video was produced on an SGI reality engine, although it was designed with pen-based systems in mind. This section will briefly outline each of the components of Sketch. Later sections will fill in the details. We begin with an orthographic view of a gridded floor plane. Sketch infers 3D geometry from 2D lines that are drawn in the film plane. This inference mechanism combines concepts from gesture recognition with techniques from 3D reconstruction. In this introductory segment, we rapidly draw a 3D sketch of a dovetail joints in a bed frame. The entire interface for shape construction requires only a single button of a mouse or tablet pen. Sketch supports a large number of primitive shapes, which will be introduced as the video progresses. The gesture that constructs a 3D shape determines its size and its relationship to other objects in the scene. In general, 3D objects are placed in contact with the surface on which they are drawn. We describe this procedure later in more detail. In addition to shape inferencing, Sketch also provides gestural interfaces to standard 3D modeling features like copying and grouping objects, as well as performing constrained transformations. Once the bed is done, we draw the detail of a dovetail joint, much as we might draw it on a piece of paper. Sketch supports schematic elements such as this arrow on the floor plane. Also, Sketch infers CSG subtraction operations from inflections of the drawings. Models can, of course, be interactively manipulated and are subject to default behaviors. Initially, objects are constrained to translate along the surface upon which they are created. However, we can easily sketch different constraints. Default colors are automatically chosen for new shapes to help differentiate them from existing objects. To apply colors and textures, we simply type their name over an object. To make our illustrations more expressive, we support a variety of rendering styles, including a non-photorealistic black and white sketch. Throughout the video, all drawing operations are done with only the first mouse button, all object transformations are performed with only the second, and all camera manipulations with the third. A single modifier key is used for secondary operations like copying colors and drawing schematic elements.